Today I'm going to be showing you how to record a voiceover directly inside of Davinci Resolve's Fairlight page. So the first thing we want to do is make ourselves a timeline, and since we're not using footage, we're just doing audio for this. We're going to come up into our media pool, right click, go timeline, new timeline. And now that we have our timeline, you can see that we have an audio track and a video track, but both of them are empty. That's fine, that's what we want. So we're going to go ahead and open the Fairlight page right here. And once you're here, you're going to want to come over to Input right here for Audio 1. Click that, click on Input. So here we have our inputs and here we have our tracks. So I want to patch my microphone right here to my Audio 1 track and then click Patch. Now those two things are talking to each other and my microphone will directly record into Audio 1 here. So we have this arm for record button, this little R right on our track over here. So we'll click on that. And then immediately we're going to hear this feedback through our speakers or our headphones, whatever we're using. So either mute your computer or go ahead and just use headphones and then it won't be able to hear. So once we're armed to record, we can go ahead and press the record button right here. And I'm going to be reading this script on ACX right here. Once you're done with your recording, just go ahead and press stop right here like that. Here we have it. This is our audition. So I'm going to turn off our arm to record so that I can unmute my computer. And now, if we listen back to this a little bit, it was formerly the custom of writers on the subject of psychology to begin by an attempt to define and describe the nature of mind. And once we want to start actually editing it, it's helpful to come over here, find the bottom of our track, and drag that down so we can see that a little bit more easily. And then we're going to open up our effects pool and we're going to start using some of our Fairlight effects. So what we're going to do is apply a limiter to this, just like that. And then I'm going to set this to be -1. And now, if we look, it never really hits that -1, but if we turn it up like this, we can see that it's definitely going to hit it now. Science of mind. Although more properly, it's the science of mental states. You can see that we're consistently hitting that -1 right there, but we're not peaking out. So that limiter is what's causing us to not go over 0 and actually get into our peaking area. And it sounds way better when it's loud for whatever reason. Human ears just like loud. So if you use that limiter and turn it up, you're going to get a much more pleasant sounding audio track. And now that I've added my limiter, I'm going to go ahead and bring in a multiband compressor. So in this multiband compressor that is just automatically available to us inside of Fairlight, we have band 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 is going to get the really high stuff, the whiny things, the hissing and stuff like that. This is going to be a lot of where your voice lives, but if you're a lower voiced individual, you're going to get a bit down here as well. And then this is just like really bassy frequencies like cars or just rumbles or hums. So if we bring that down all the way and give it a listen, nature of mind, before proceeding to a consideration of the, and then bring it up, subject of the various mental states and activities. But more recently, you can hear how that really gives it that like smooth low end, or it kind of brings a little bit of that emptiness in if you bring that all the way out. So what you want to do with an EQ is barely ever anything extreme. You just want to like bump that up a little bit, and then if you don't like what this is making, just go ahead and bump that down a little bit. And you can use these S's to make these solo tracks. So if you want to listen to just one band, you click on that S and then listen to it. And have claimed that it's no more reasonable. And you can hear that there's like nothing going on there. So we'll check out number 3. Hold that psychology should be held to an explanation of the ultimate nature of mind. So we can hear that a lot of my voice is in there and there's a bit of it in here. Then it is that physical science be held to an explanation of the ultimate nature of matter. So when you bring all 3 of those in, it's good stuff. I bet you when we get into 4 though, we're not going to have much voice at all. Yeah, there's not much going on up there. So if you play around with the gain of your different bands, you're going to get a very different sound, but this is going to be hyper unique to your audio track. There's not really anything I can give you that's going to say something like you have to use this value in this band, because it's going to be, like I said, hyper specific to you. But just bring them up, bring them down, see if there's anything you like, see if there's anything you don't. One good way to hear what's going on in one track over the other ones is if you have them all down, you can bring one all the way up. The attempt to explain the ultimate, kind of hear what that gives you, and then bring that same one all the way down. The attempt to explain the ultimate nature of, and that'll kind of give you an idea of what's going on inside that band. So I'm going to do just a little bit of boost in the low bass and a little bit of boost in like my main vocal area here. I'm going to bring out a little bit of band 2 and I'm going to bring down quite a bit of band 4. And then I'm going to give that a listen. Either is futile. No actual... I'm going to actually bring this down a little bit. That sounds a little too much. Necessity exists for the explanation in either case. Physics may explain the phenomena of matter and psychology the phenomena of mind, but without... Okay, so that's sounding alright right there, at least for this right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out of here. And if you have any sharp S's, so what's that called? Sibilants. If you have any sibilants, like where you're tss, and it is messing with your microphone, your de-esser is going to help you with that, but this microphone is pretty good about not having that happen, so I'm not going to use it. And de-hummer is just for like low humming sounds in the background. Generally not going to like affect your voice too much, but if there's like a AC unit or something like that that's got a or like lights that are constantly giving you that like the de-hummer will help you get rid of that. Delay is an effect that you're probably not going to use on anything. A lot of these are like that. So a lot of these are effects that you would be able to put on like music or sound effects or things like that to give them a little bit of flavor. But for your voiceovers, you're probably going to stick to the de-esser, the de-hummer, the dialogue processor sometimes, and then you're going to also be using the limiter, multiband compressor. You might use noise reduction depending on how noisy your thing is, but noise reduction can often mess with the beginnings and the ends of your words, so you'll sound a little bit robot-y, so try to keep that to a minimum. Pitch, reverb, soft clipper, these are all things that are used for sound effects and music as well. Unless you're going for a specific sound out of your voiceover, you might get some pitch or some reverb. And then vocal channel gives you a little bit more control in your EQ than you have in that multiband compressor, as well as allowing you a little bit more precision. But if you're just doing the basics and you want to be using like broad sweeps with your brush, go ahead and stick only to that compressor. But if you want to get a little bit more involved with your EQ, go ahead and use the vocal channel here. This has a compressor built in, but the multiband is better. If you want to check out some more easy, fun things you can do inside of DaVinci Resolve, go ahead and check out this video right here, and I'll see you on Saturday.